we'll have Brother Matthew Ames come up, who's running for clerk. Trustee. Thank you.
Greetings, friends, family, neighbors, and people of Broadview. My name is Matthew Ames, and before I get started, I would like to first thank God for the opportunity to be here tonight. And I would like to acknowledge some very good friends, the folks at American Campaign, Charlie, Tom, Angela, Robert, JC, to Mr. Tommy Simmons and his group of volunteers. I couldn't imagine tackling this daunting task without you and the assistance that you've provided. And just as important, you, the supporters of the new Broadview Tea Party, those who have contributed to our campaign by way of finance, those who have offered your time, those who have attended our tea sips and begun to spread the good news that there is an alternative. I've been impressed and I've remained hopeful because of the intelligence that I've encountered here in our small community. From the Park District, school board members, business owners, etc. The list is endless. I've also at times been angered and discouraged. Discouraged at times because of the rumors that have taken flight and the fact that even some senior members of our community have carried them without investigation. As I've gone door to door, there are some residents that are just simply jaded, used up because of our current conditions. In the belief that we are no more than politicians knocking at election time. To those individuals, I say hold firm. It's written, a living dog is better than a dead lion. But to the living there is hope, but the dead know nothing. Once again, my name is Matthew Ames. My family and I have been residents here in the village of Broadview for 33 years. Since 1976. I remember as a boy playing on Roosevelt School ground, the school that I attended. I remember I obtained my first job from a place that's no longer in existence, Dean's Restaurant Supply. When my good friends Sherman and Michael and Tim and Portier were playing football, I was offloading semis, storing eggs, mayonnaise, and those things. After Roosevelt School, I attended Proviso East. I am a pilot, most certainly. I graduated from Proviso East and attended the Bryan Institute of Technology, where I received my degree in communications, information systems. And even with a hard-working example of good parents, my life became tragic. And that I submitted to this social engineering and began to believe that more was better and shortcuts would get me there fast. Deception and self-gratification was a standard I thought carried some truth. And my life further spiraled downhill with the use of drugs and alcohol. And I was debased to the lowest of the low when I was convicted of a felony and sent to prison. Yes, I'm that controversial candidate. My story is similar to that of the prodigal son, and that I squandered my inheritance through riotous living in a foreign land. And the story goes on to say, and then he came to himself. And when I came to myself more than 13 years ago, I began to live a life of redemption. And what's peculiar to me He said, while I hear the rumors, and I read in print a convicted felon, which should be ex-felon, I didn't see or hear anything about how through the grace of God, I've been allowed to overcome this tragedy. I didn't see anything that would speak to the fact that I'm a business owner and I sit on the board of 2 corporations. I didn't hear anything about the fact that I am an employer, both inside the community and outside the community. I didn't see in print anything that would inform you all, you good people, of my positive activities in the surrounding areas. The charitable contributions to the organizations such as Maywood's Youth Summer Work Program. The mentoring that I provide for the PLCCA Youth Golf Program. Both financial and in-kind contributions to organizations, some of which are represented here tonight. I didn't hear or read anything about how my company is listed as a corporate sponsor to the Hyde Park Learning Resource Center. Wow. Nor did I hear anything about me as the individual who goes through the neighborhood and take the young boys and give them things to do if it's nothing more than to clean up the schoolyards and the gutters and the curb that our village should be responsible for. And I do it simply to teach them the value of work at an early age. 2 years ago, when the incident occurred with the homeowner having a gun being put to her face, I was out of town. And I received a phone call from Miss Jo Jackson, who happened to be a founding member of the Broadview Tea Party. And Joe asked if I would reach out to this neighbor. And I did. I called Miss Angela Austin. And I said that that would not be tolerated. And most certainly I would look her up as soon as I touched down. And on October 29, 2007, it was the Broadview Tea Party that organized the community function that brought everybody out. That brought everybody out in arms. That same organization that I'm a founding member of. And further along with Trustee Ely and Trustee Jones and a few other residents, we went to court with that system. We went to court for support and to show her and those individuals that that behavior would not be tolerated here in Broadview. At least not on our watch. But I didn't read anything about the fact that there in the courthouse, it was me that negotiated the truce between this young man's gang buddies and Miss Austin as to keep the peace in the neighborhood. Wow. No, I didn't read anything about this. And I want to tell you this tonight, not because I need your approval. Because one of the lessons I learned when I came to myself was that virtue has its own rewards. So, to Brother Stan, I don't see him here tonight, but he was concerned. He didn't have enough to tell the people about me. And to Brother Stan and anybody else that might be curious about me, Matthew Ames, you want to tell him something? Simply tell him this. You tell him he's a man who lives his life with the belief that his service is with the consciousness to God in all of his affairs.